This is a video simply to share some things that have been coming to my mind, to share some wisdom. Remember that I come from a place of working with thousands of people, intimately one-on-one with their physical body through myofascial therapy. I've worked with people with all sorts of conditions, be it neuromuscular, musculoskeletal, or other diseases. Many people with different diseases who come, whether it be learning how to relax, which is the key to any healing at all, is to reduce the stress, relax, and allow the chi to flow. It is believed that during meditation, cosmic energy begins to fill our body. So the ultimate place of healing comes from the place of letting go. Too many times people try to think, try to analyze, try to understand where healing comes from, what it is, what spirituality is. People have to go here, they have to go there, they have to seek. And we've been intelligent enough, long enough, and have listened to enough masters by now to understand some very simple, basic things. And if you just stick with those basics in everything, just like, you're either coming from a place of love or you're coming from a place of fear. There is subdivisions of those, but it's a clear line. Whether one is coming from a place of love or coming from a place of fear, no matter how subtle the fear is, no matter how subtle the love is. Point being is that the way we think about things on the very basic level will determine so much about us. Healing comes naturally. Stress is the number one feed or food for illness. Once you open a book and start to read about spirituality, you've already lost any chance of experiencing. Spirituality is in the moment. It's here. Everything you need is right here, right now, right within you. And it's almost, people think it's just an obscure concept. Like, I don't have a car right now with me, or this or that. But it goes back to the basics, what we need to be happy. And we find that, if you think of that law of attraction, which is simply what you feed grows, which I mentioned in my earlier video, that if you simply come from a place of gratitude in every moment, appreciate being here in this physical being, then more golden pathways will open for you, whether it be the golden pathway of healing or a golden pathway of your next meal, golden pathway of a flowing river or fresh air or a new home, whatever that is. We think we can adjust every minute and every timeline of our life, and we can to some extent. But the more we try to push and think we're getting our way, there are so many chances for the unexpected to happen and will and do. And it seems that the more people push in their life to get things that they want, they're very excited, they did this, they have this. They've also been usually confronted with problems. This could be whether it be lawsuits or things not going right or someone stealing. There's an element of letting go and allowing it to unfold in its proper time that allows for a much easier transition, a much easier flow. Again, which would go to the place where a lot of people say, work, and then I have a heart attack or something. It's just work. there's that essence of having to push creates stress. If you go back to the very basics of our health, stress, or disease. So do we want to push? Bikram always says in his original book, the red one, talks about in the book where he was criticizing a student for not coming to class enough. She was saying she was too busy, she had a family to feed, and there were so many things to do with the family. And he said, poor family, it's a good thing they don't know that you don't really care about them. And she was shocked that he would even say that, and the point being is that if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not exercising, if you're not doing what you need to do to get the blood to your brain, to relax your heart, then what are you doing for your children by giving them your life? They want to adore as they age, but instead they have a decrepit person that they've got to care for. And that's the essence of that. It would be nice if we all took care of ourselves so much that we can enjoy our intelligence and longevity as we age. I am almost 60. When I think of the age number in relationship to society, it trips me out. But luckily I've been out of what you call them, the media-controlled society for many, many years. Lately with YouTube, I'm attached a little more, but I pick and choose and delete real quick. There's no, I only watch what one person tells me to watch type of things, and I do research a lot of things. So being detached allows one to stay a little more calm, and that helps. So if we've designed our life to be that direction, how do you switch? You don't have to switch, that's the thing. You just have to allow a godly timeline. It's better to sit back more and ponder and feel and talk to God about the ideas you have and allow them to unfold through the heartfelt passion of it, rather than, I think I gotta do this, quick, sign up, do this, do that, get your license, blah, 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 allowing it to flow. It's a much greater way to create. In my life, I had a great business idea, of course, a product, patent, the thing, and I was pushing it so much because I knew the idea was so great. It was gifted from God, and it was, but the pushing to make it and get people to see it, and all was just backfired against me for years and years and years, and I didn't quite get it. And even when we're given big ideas, it takes action, yes. But you've got to find a place where you realize that you're pushing too much. Allow it to unfold. That's the lesson, I guess, of the wisdom. But looking at media, society, my age, it's fun right now because there's so many people who got it. There's people throughout generations, hundreds of years before me, who got it. But there's been a time where we just didn't see much of that. The norm was to do this, do that, die here, get a disease at a certain age, get your insurance so you can prepare for that. And that's the one thing that gets the mind on that pathway. I'm talking about getting your mind on all the beautiful things that flow from God. And commerce, fear. What whether you call it commerce, whether you call it, but fear wants you to make all decisions based on fear. And we'll give you a whole list of things to be fearful of. So, whoa, I need to get insurance to protect myself against that fear. That's, of course, that's the path of fear. That's where stress, that's this. There's an essence it's not even within us. We're surrounded by it. It's our entourage. It's our piercing light that allows us to create in a very gifted, loving way. We are children of God. We're religions. And so, a beautiful God. Not the mean, evil, fearful God that people want to believe in, but a loving, magical God. And this God, again, is just flowing through us. It's just us. It's what creates the vibrant, natural remedy. And the only thing fear, again, is what we create, self-created fears. I'm not sure who it was that said, maybe I'll do the research. Yeah. Man is God afraid. You lose the fear, you begin to tap into the God nature. And that's the beauty of it. This goes on with our body. I'm going to complete the video I did. Actually, it's an audio for healing meditation. And everything in this meditation is for you to simply understand that you have the ability to just let this energy flow through you, which is incredibly magical. And that goes with the healing of the inside or the outward world that we're creating. I have often thought that, of course, there's as big of a universe within us. Start going deeper and deeper with your microscopes and microscopes. There's just vast emptiness, as big as it is out here, vast in the trillions of light years away. Vast emptiness. And there's something that binds and connects. I'm sort of the midway of this and that. So what does that make me? I've always thought that, this consciousness that looks like a physical form of some kind is the God of the universe within me. And I am this being, part of this giant cosmos here, saying, I am a particle of this cosmos of what is God, which when you look at the ultimate structure of the cosmos, it looks like veins and arteries, almost as if you are shaping another being, like a being and a being of a being of the beings within. And we need to simply let the harmonious energy of life flow through it. And like the butterfly effect, everything we do makes a difference. And all of our actions and thoughts change the universe. So I can change humanity not by going out and saying I'm right, you're wrong. But I change humanity by being here and being in a state of love, in a state of gratitude. Come to the basics about what you're coming from and what you're doing in every moment. And listen to the Bashar in the link below. Finding your highest excitement, one of my most love finding powerful words from Bashar of your excitement. How to move forward in each and every day. It takes a little practice, but if you just do it. Every moment when you're thinking, gosh, and then you find yourself in that place again. Stop. Get a tool that you can use. Have it be, okay, I'm there again. Stop. What can I be grateful for? That's the simple thing that can always bring you back to focus. Or breathe. Have a something that you can stab yourself with and say, oh yeah, that can prick you and say, oh, sorry, you're going the wrong way. You're there again. You're in the fear. Come back. Give yourself a simple tool. Let that simple tool bring to you the simple, basic truths, fear or love. Kind of find the line when you're pushing too much. And if it gets stressful, you're pushing too much. Back off. Trust that the universal flow of life goes through you, which is a natural healing ability. The way that you can cut and heal on the outside of your body goes through with you, with the universe, with everything. We never know who a great and enlightening being is for humanity. We have an idea of it's someone wearing a robe, or we don't know. And we're beyond the point of having to judge people, label, just allow it to be. Allow it to be. Yeah, allow it. It's funny in this time where people are wanting to be so free and open to every sort of orientation of a human being is when I've never noticed so many all of a sudden labels popping up from the ones who want freedom. That's something that I laugh about a lot. Because I don't, and I think it's simply a need for someone crying out for attention because, again, they haven't been able to be taught. A generation haven't been able to taught to go within and to understand the discipline of God. I mean, discipline, law, and order is it's a basic principle of the universe, of the God. Yeah, I mean, we can get bitch slapped very quickly by God through events, through nature. So there's a humbleness that he needs to partake on, and a wisdom. And there's some that are just crying out for some sort of ability to feel okay, I suppose. Be identified with something, but we don't want to identify. You identify with God, right? Alright, well, it's funny. I'm in a place here where there's a lot of energy. These old rusty structures behind me. It was a very long beam that used to stand not on this, but on this, and I think that may have been a support. It went up and out, and there's a drop-off here about 40 feet. A little pathway that goes down, I'll show you there. And because this is very, very deep right here, boats would be able to pull in very closely to shore, and they would lift up with a hoist and bring items, and I think it was exporting, whether it be the sugar cane or I think pineapples on this side of the island. Put them into the boat, and there's a wall here, and it's a very beautiful, preserved historic site. The water here is incredibly wild. This little bay, if it's very calm, it's an okay to jump in and jump out, but it's very powerful waters and jagged rocks everywhere, and it's very rough. So these waters are not, it's not where you go in. Not even with a boat. Yeah, people don't even boat over here. The water's pretty wild. Pretty wild. Well, the sun is starting to come over here. I'm getting a little toasty here, so I'll show you around a little bit. And it's beautiful. This has been a beautiful time. We're here during the whole COVID thing, and you know, God guided us here. We were in a situation that was not with our highest good. We were like, you know, this is good and it served our purpose, but there's a contrast here. You know, and that's kind of how God works. You have to be very specific with kind of what you want and attention to every detail. Because you might want a new house, and then as Abram says, you live in a house, you realize this house has more closets, and then you're like, oh. So now you realize you need a house with more closets. You don't hate the house, you love it, and you love the fact that God gave you this house, and then you're like, okay, now let's continue to evolve. So we were in a place that was good, and we loved it, but yeah, there was a but. It was like, and we want to add to that and create more. So we were brought out of there just at the right time into another situation that we realized, nope. Okay, this has this element, but not this element, and we literally was out of there within 2 months, just before COVID and the issue hit. Brought us to the most serene, beautiful place that we couldn't ask for a better situation to quarantine in than this little area. And God has been good, very good for us. We're thankful for that. And we do this, of course, living on the faith of God and working as we go. So the energy here is very powerful, and it allows me to get back into the practice, allow me to continue to get into the practice, what can I say, and appreciate God and the nature that's around. All right, well, let's take a little walk, shall we? All right, so not sure if you can hear or see much, but ocean crashing. See this wall goes all the way down. There's a little ledge here. I'm sure this is eroded away quite a bit because I think this could have been a path for walking, but maybe not. I think there may have been a ladder here, but there's a beam. There's a cool pivot. Very rocky, deep waters. Rocky, deep waters. Back around. There's another pylon over there of something. They use a lot of concrete here. There's looks like something where the water would rush out, a trough. Very deep waters. And here are the steps going down to the water. Of course, the water very deep, very deep. So the rocks are very smooth here, right? So there's no, I don't know where you would even come up here. You'd have to have a rope. There's like no way. Yeah. And the rock wall and the steps and very deep waters. Yeah, maybe you could come up there, I'm not sure. Alright, so since I don't have a ladder, we gotta go this way. It really looks like it's about to erode away a little bit. Cool. So this is all a good 100 years ago. waters. Alright, so that's it. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you're doing well, and look forward to chatting with you.